You're watching the Weiss channel. Well, today we're going to do graphing of radical functions, which sounds much harder than it is. Okay? For example, y equals the square root of x plus 4. Please note that it's not possible to take the negative, the square root of a negative. So in problems like this, you will not have any numbers that are negative. In this Delta Math assignment, if you're doing Delta Math, you're only going to plot 4 points. So what you're going to use is, to put in here, you need 0, because the square root of 0 is 0. You're going to use 1, because the square root of 1 is 1. You're going to use 4, because the square root of 4 is 2. And you're going to use 9, because the square root of 9 is 3. So we're going to start with 0. The square root of 0 is 0, plus 4 is 4. So that gives you the point 0, 4. Then you're going to put in 1. The square root of 1 is 1. 1 plus 4 is 5. So you've got the point 1, 5. Then you're going to put in 4, because the square root of 4 is 2. 2 plus 4 is 6. So now you have the point 4, 6. And you're going to put in 9. The square root of 9 is 3. 3 plus 4 is 7. So you're going to have the point 9, 7. Then Delta Math will ask you to draw it using a pencil-like figure on the computer. You have to make sure that when you put the pencil in, your mark doesn't go anywhere to the left of here, because anywhere to the left of here is wrong. You've got to start here. Just make sure you go through each of these points. If you get a little squiggly, it should be okay. Okay? So just keep on going and don't stop in between. All right? Sorry about that. All right, over here. Square root of x plus 7. Well, how do I make the square root of x plus 7 equal to 0? I'm going to use negative 7, because negative 7 plus 7 is 0. So negative 7 plus 7 is 0. The square root of 0 is 0. 2 times 0 is 0. And 0 minus 4 is negative 4. So I'm going to plot the point negative 7, negative 4, right there. Then I'm going to use negative 6, because negative 6 plus 7 is positive 1. And the square root of positive 1 is 1. Times 2 is 2, minus 4 is negative 2. So I've got negative 6, negative 2. Now I'm going to use negative 3. Negative 3 plus 7 is 4. The square root of 4 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4, and 4 minus 4 is 0. So I've got negative 3, 0. Next, I'm going to use 2, because 2 plus 7 is 9. The square root of 9 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6, and 6 minus 4 is 2. So I have 2, 2. And then you've got to draw that line. Just make sure you start exactly here, and it doesn't go even to the left at all. And just go through these points to the best of your ability, even with a little squiggly going on. Okay? Today's assignment also involves cube root. Cube root, now wait a minute. Okay, all you're going to need to worry about is negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, and 2. Okay? Meaning, you're going to deal with the cube root of negative 8, because negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 is negative 8. And then you're going to deal with negative 1, 0, 1, and 8. You won't deal with any numbers higher than this, because all of your graphs will go up to 10 and negative 10 on your delta math, okay? So we're gonna deal with just these 5 cube roots, okay? All right, so I'm gonna look at this and I'm gonna say first, what's gonna make negative 8? Won't negative 7 minus 1 make negative 8? So I'm gonna do negative 7 first. Negative 7 minus 1 is negative 8. The cube root of negative 8 is negative 2. Negative 2 times 2 is negative 4. Negative 4 minus 4 is negative 8. So I've got negative 7, negative 8. Okay. Next, I'm going to use 0 because 0 minus 1 is negative 1. And the cube root of negative 1 is negative 1. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. Negative 2 minus 4 is negative 6. So I've got 0, negative 6. Next, I'm going to use 1 because 1 minus 1 is 0. Cube root of 0 is 0. 2 times 0 is 0. Minus 4 is negative 4. So I've got 1, negative 4, right? Because 1 minus 1 made 0, right? So 1, negative 4. Next, I'm going to use 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. And the cube root of 1 is 1. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 minus 4 is negative 2. So I've got 2, negative 2. I'm going to add a 5th point. I'm going to put in 9. 9 minus 1 is 8. The cube root of 8 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 minus 4 is 0. So I've got 9, 0. All of your cube root graphs will look some kind of swerve like this. It'll be a swervy thing like that. It'll go up and then to the right. Or it could go down to the right, okay, if it's negative, which we're going to see in the next one. Negative cube root x minus 3 plus 4. So once again, I'm going to start with negative 8. How do I make negative 8? What minus 3 makes negative 8? I need negative 5, right? Negative 5. So I'm going to put negative 5 minus 3 to make negative 8. The cube root of negative 8 is negative 2. But the negative of negative 2 is positive 2. Plus 4 is 6. So I've got negative 5, 6. Okay. Next, I'm going to put in 2 because positive 2 minus 3 is negative 1. The cube root of negative 1 is negative 1, but the negative of negative 1 is positive 1. Plus 4 is 5. So I've got 2, 5. Okay. Next, I'm going to use 3 because 3 minus 3 is 0. The cube root of 0 is 0. The negative of 0 is 0. Plus 4 is 4. So I've got 3, 4. Okay. Then I'm going to use 4 because 4 minus 3 is 1. The cube root of 1 is 1. The negative of 1 is negative 1. Negative 1 plus 4 is 3. So 4, 3. All right. Now, 11 is not even on my graph here, but if I did 11 minus 3, that would give me 8, and the cube root of 8 would be 2. The negative of that is negative 2. Negative 2 plus 4 is 2. So way out at 11 is going to be 2, all right? So when you draw your graph for this, you're not even going to reach 2 at the end here. So you're going to go just here. And by the way, of course, you do go to the left because you can have negatives when it's a cube root, right? So negative, and it's still like that. All right. You've been watching the Weiss channel.